Well, let's see what you got, man. I told them I'm super excited about this. What is going on, everyone? Derek here today, bringing you another episode of Project Fox. As you guys can see, we have the Fox right here, and in the back, if you watched the last episode, we finished up the long tube headers. We're gonna go more than that in just a moment, but right now, guys, I am actually heading to go meet up with Steve, and you're about to meet him right now. And Steve is actually donating a part to this car, and you'll see it as soon as we get there. So Steve, if you're watching this, I greatly appreciate it because that part is definitely gonna save us some money, and it's gonna get the car sounding amazing. By the way, when I called you, Steve, I did hear the Mustang, and I apologize. I'm currently in the Camry. Yeah, I was rushing a little bit this morning, my fault. So yeah, I am heading to Target as we speak, and I'm picking up one of the final pieces for the exhaust that we're gonna need for Project Fox. Hold on, let me get the seatbelt on before y'all call me out on it. But with getting this piece from Steve right now, guys, it's gonna be one of the last pieces we need in order to get the Fox body into the shop and get everything, you know, welded in and done right. A lot of you guys that know Fox bodies in the comments section have been saying that this job, this exhaust job we're about to do is gonna be a pain in the butt. But thankfully, guys, we are gonna be taking the Fox body to an exhaust shop so we can have everything done professionally, and if there's any hiccups or anything like that, you know, with the car being so much older than, for example, my Coyote, obviously the exhaust guys will be able to, you know, fix our problems and just get everything done right the first time. And, you know, this thing's gonna be sounding good. We're pulling up to Target now. This is where I'm meeting Steve. This Mustang may look familiar. I have filmed one of these before on the channel, but we have yet to see his. Check out that thing, man. Jeez. GT350, gotta love them. What up, man? When I called you, I was like, oh, he's definitely in the Mustang. I was so glad you were able to bring it out.
Oh my God, you driving that car like that?
Well, let's see what you got, man. I told them I'm super excited about this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could tell what that is, this is an off-road H pipe for the Fox body. And what Fox body did this come off? It came off yours, correct?
92 GT.
92 GT.
Years and years ago.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe we can just throw that right here. You just toss it right on that blanket. And I do appreciate it, man. This helps us out so much. I went ahead and
Mustang fan, baby.
yeah, we went ahead and ordered everything else. So it should be going in next week for full long tubes, off-road H, and I'm not gonna tell you guys quite yet what mufflers we went with, but it should sound good, man. So again, this is Steve. He's the one that hooked it up with the off-road H, and obviously you don't see a lot of cars like this. GT350, you got it in the white.
You know, you start off with a little piece of crap Mustang and you progress through the years, and nothing compares to this. I mean, nothing. I've had a lot of Mustangs. I can tell you, that's what scared me.
Well, not only does he have a GT350, guys, but Steve here does do tinning here in the Richmond, Virginia area, and he absolutely kills it. For those of you that know Cheyenne, he did Cheyenne's car. If you want to tell them where they can contact you and stuff.
S&S Auto Outfitters. That's where to find me at.
Hook this man up if you need tint, detailing, like he just said, trailer hitches, anything. He's your man. Good deal, man. Well, I do appreciate it again, and you know, it was so last minute, but
it's time.
Yeah, hey, mine's due to this month too, so take a look, guys. It's been a hot minute since we've been in the GT350. Oh, these seats. Oh my gosh, I have Recaros in mine, but I have to admit, I'm a big fan of like the material in these Recaros. You know, like
keeps you planted.
Yeah, the leather Recaros, don't get me wrong, they're like a hot commodity when it comes to the 11 through 14s. They did the GT350 a little different. They didn't put leather Recaros in. They did them with like, what is it? Is it like Alcantara? Maybe one day, guys. Maybe one day. I'm super stoked. As you can see right there, we do have the off-road H pipe. Once I get home, I'll obviously do a thorough inspection on it and just see, you know, what we're working with exactly. I'll show you guys as well. But let's get home. Now that I'm home, let's go ahead and check out this mid-pipe right quick. So when I was talking to Steve, he also mentioned to me something that I'm gonna need a double hump cross member. Thing is, with these Fox bodies, they are technically a single exhaust, and when you want to turn them into a true dual exhaust, you're gonna have to get a different cross member. So I'm gonna have to go inside and add that to the list as well. And I have some other goodies that I want to show you that we went with for this car for the full exhaust. This thing's gonna make it sound so good. Another piece to the puzzle added, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys, now that we have our off-road H pipe, let's go ahead, grab the headers out of the car as well. I just want to see something real quick. And would you look at these things? So much better than when I first bought them. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead set those just like that real quick. Grab our H pipe, and we can go ahead and set our off-road H kind of like that. Just a little mock-up, but you can definitely see we have something going here. All we're gonna need is more piping, our mufflers, exhaust tips, which we are gonna go over here in just a moment. I just wanted to go ahead and just lay this out to see how exactly it looks. But you know, we can test to see. Oh yeah, we're looking golden. Get some bolts in here, bada bing. Try out this side just to make sure everything fits. Good deal. That should work perfect, actually. As far as the headers and off-road H pipe though, guys, I think these are gonna work pretty well together. Not to mention they're gonna sound awesome, especially when they're paired up with the mufflers or resonators, so have you. We're gonna talk more about that in just a minute. I just wanted to go ahead, mock this up to see exactly what we're working with, but I think this is gonna work rather well. While we're at it, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start this up for you, just so we can get one of our last exhaust tones of its stock, and it's gonna be so different. I do have a little video clip after we go over exactly the other parts I am gonna be purchasing today of what sound we're kind of going for. And let me tell you guys, it's gonna sound incredible, but oh, this thing's dead. I forgot. If you guys watched that Ken Block video, I filmed a little bit of this car. I forgot it was dead, and it's completely dead, man. Must have left something on. Maybe a door cracked and this light stayed on or something, I don't know. I do have a fix for this, and it's like a perfect time to actually use this, I must say. Let me go grab it real quick. So here's our solution, guys. Amazing IM29 jump starter power bank, and it's exactly what the title entails. And why not shout them out if you guys are interested? A link is gonna be in the description. These things work wonderfully. But you go ahead, open this bad boy up, and it's a jumper starter. Instead of ripping out jumper cables and pulling a car up to the front of this car, you got your power box here, which is extremely powerful. So with their little power brick, guys, as I mentioned, this thing is super powerful. You can see we're at 92%, plenty of juice. We're gonna go ahead and peel this back, plug these in like so, pop this hood. Look at that beautiful thing. Should be chopping with long tubes, off-road H, in no time. Slap it onto that terminal, this terminal, and you're gonna set it down just like so. Hit that, and this thing should be ready to start. Should be on engine start mode, so. We're just gonna let this sit for a little bit and go ahead and load up the exhaust back into the car. This car has a single exhaust, so you have to get a double hump transmission crossmember. And if you guys are wondering what this is from, as you saw when we picked up the car, it had, that's exactly what it's from. With all the weather conditions, heat, cold and stuff, and the adhesive got weak, obviously. So they just peeled it off to make it look a bit better. But now that we know this works, guys, load this stuff back up. And like I said, we are having a professional do it. So if there is any other hiccups or anything like that, he'll know what to do. And he's worked on Mustangs before, especially older ones. Tell you what, that's some quality car right there. It weighs a ton. Check it out, guys. This is what it sounds like with the stock exhaust. Since I do have to let this thing charge up a little bit, why don't we just take it around the block right quick? I tell you what, when this thing gets at full exhaust, it's gonna be such a different little animal. So I've been on the Mustang forums, Fox Body specifically, and a lot of them have been saying with these 5.0 motors, if you do long tube headers, off-road X or H, and you know, the rest of the exhaust doesn't really matter, but with just the headers, you could pick up typically 20 to 25 horsepower, which, to be honest, that's definitely gonna make a little difference in this car. And not only the horsepower difference, but it's just gonna sound so good. And I did mention earlier, I have some exhaust clips saved for you guys on some of the Fox bodies we were looking at and the kind of tone we're trying to achieve. But I can't show you that quite yet because we still have to go over what mufflers or resonators we're gonna go with on the car. And as soon as we get back to the house, I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you. All right, she's all warmed up now. Let's give her a little bit of gas. Here we go. Oh my gosh, smell a little something. I don't know what that is, but I did smell a little bit of something, but that could honestly be just a bunch of this gunk burning off or out of the exhaust. Not too worried. As long as there's no fires or smoke, we're good. But there she is, guys. Each day I get more and more excited. Still don't have any plates on it. When is life gonna get back to normal? So now that you guys have seen the episode on the long tube headers, and if you haven't checked out that episode, click the card right up here, go watch that. Obviously today we picked up the OffRoad H Pipe, and those two alone are gonna give this car a very, very good sound, but doesn't end there. I'm looking for something in particular. So one of the first parts we're actually gonna need, and it's pretty obvious, it's gonna revolve around the headers, and that's gonna be header gaskets. So I went ahead and actually just ordered the Ford Performance header gaskets, and I would imagine those would work just fine on those mock long tube headers. And a lot of you guys in the comments did tell me those were mock long tube headers due to the fact that all the manifold piping, whatever you want to call it, isn't one big piece. They're actually individual, and I've heard those are kind of a pain to install, so that's why I'm also glad we're taking this to an exhaust shop. So I did order the header gaskets, and that leaves one or two more things to make this exhaust complete. So as I was saying, guys, I am looking for something that's going to sound pretty aggressive and especially sound very good once we get the cam put into this car. For the price, you really couldn't beat the SLP loudmouths. So I did go ahead and order the SLP loudmouths, and I think we're gonna have a pretty good sounding Fox body, to say the least. Now is the perfect time to go ahead and show you guys the clip I was talking about. I don't know about you, but that sounded pretty good to me. So yes, as far as the muffler slash resonators, we are going with SLP Loudmouths 1, OffRoad H Pipe, and long tube headers. So this thing's gonna be loud. And that's gonna go ahead and lead to the very end of the exhaust, which is gonna be exhaust tips. I actually had a pretty hard time trying to find some exhaust tips that were gonna look good on like a classic 5.0. So I went with a pretty standard exhaust tip. They are 3-inch rolled exhaust tips. They're chrome, 12 inches long with a 2.5-inch diameter. So those should be just fine. And we are taking it to an exhaust shop. As I said, there's gonna be a lot of custom stuff that they can do to make these work. Again, many of you have informed me that I'm gonna need a double hump transmission cross brace so the exhaust can clear, because that car has one due to it being a single exhaust car. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our exhaust setup. I'm looking forward to it. As far as next week goes, there is kind of one problem though, due to all this stuff going on in the world right now. As far as like shipping, it's taking so much longer for things to get to people, and that might be a concern of mine when it comes to getting this done next week. But I can assure you the week after, no matter what, we should have a full exhaust system put on Project Fox, and I'm so stoked for it. I wanted to go ahead and bring you guys this episode because I wanted to film absolutely every single step of the way. So for those of you out there that have a Fox body and might not have done a full exhaust, you'll be able to see firsthand if this works or not, because to be honest, I don't know if it's going to work perfect. Hence why we're taking it to an exhaust professional. And you know, from there, we're going to just be shooting for that 220 to 240 wheel horsepower out of that 5.0, which in a car that light should be pretty peppy. But other than that, guys, that is going to go ahead and conclude episode 5 of Project Fox. But now that we're on the same page with Project Fox and you know exactly what's going down, hopefully next week, expect this thing to sound incredible, and especially with those SLP loudmouths, it should... good gosh. Should definitely wake this car up, that's for sure. Really quick before we wrap up today's video, I want to go ahead and thank the supporters of the channel. If you see your name right here, give yourself a pat on the back. And for those of you that want your name to be on that list, head to the channel. Right next to the subscribe button, there's a join button. Click that join button. You can either join tier 1 or 2. And just know I greatly appreciate the support, guys. That's just going to help us get to the next level. Other than that, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time for our weekly live stream. Make sure you guys are there. Make sure you guys tune in. It's going to be pretty fun, and we can just chop it up. But until next time, we'll see you later.